awesome client, Ed Percy. We're going to talk about his success in the 12-week Lean Project program. First thing I'd say is, Ed, if you could give yourself a little bit of an introduction of who you are, what you do, and then we'll go into what made you join the program. Is that cool?
Yeah, that sounds fine. So as Mike said, I'm Ed. I'm a nearly 41-year-old, a little bit fatter in the middle, owner of my own business. So my background is project management, engineering, oil and gas, coal mining, and my partner runs a sheep farm, so it's quite stressful and quite busy. And the reason I sort of I'm here, I've reached out to you, was because I found myself with a few stress-related issues and a bit of depression, and a few other things. And my friend Troy was already on your program with you, and I was watching what he was doing, and I noticed he posted something which I think was you looking for some extra clients, or were open for more clients. So I reached out to you because I thought I needed to actually bite the bullet and try and change something.
Nice. So if we take you, obviously you finished now a couple of weeks ago, you've done the 12 weeks. If we took you back, say, a couple of weeks before the 12 weeks, when I guess you was at the place you didn't want to be, you wanted to make some changes. Was there a couple of things that made you want to reach out, or a couple of things you want to change, or was there a big thing? What was the reason for wanting to join the program?
Yeah, so before I joined the program, I was one of those people. I would have the quickest, easiest meal, didn't care what it was. If it was in front of me, I'd eat all of it because I didn't want to be any waste.
Yeah.
And I'd go to the canteen and work. It would be chips, it would be rice, it would be huge portions of whatever. I'd drink probably 3 or 4 soft drinks a week, maybe even a day sometimes, just because of what I was doing. I was drinking, on my worst days, 12 plus cups of coffee a day. No water, no water at all. And I had no energy, and I was just in a sort of cycle of getting up, going to work, getting up, going to work, getting up, going to work. I would drink quite a lot in a week sometimes, just because of stress and depression. And I was getting worse, and I could see I didn't really want to be that person. And I needed to do a few things to my job and my personal life I needed to sort out, and I just didn't have the energy to do it.
Do you remember how you felt at the time? You obviously, like you say, maybe drinking a little bit too much, energy levels.
I was just down, I suppose, as you are. When your energy levels are low, you just don't feel like doing anything, do you? And then you just being a bit of a loner, living in a hotel, because I was working away. Mm-hmm. And you just sort of sit in the hotel, watch TV, go to bed, and not interact with people. And when you do getting depressed, it just gets worse and worse, because you get depressed. Oh, sod it, I don't want to go out. I'm not going to go and talk to those people. I'll have a room service rather than even talk to the waitresses in the restaurant. So it was just generally down, and felt not like myself.
All right. I think the next question I'll ask you is, I think there's probably some people that are listening to this who find that relatable. I think it's easy to get into a cycle of that, not exercising like you want to, maybe, like I say, maybe drinking a bit too much. Then the knock on is that energy levels are low. Then you don't go, you know what you probably need to do to pull yourself out of it, but it's difficult. So what for you was like the trigger? Was it just like saying to yourself, do you know what, I can't continue like this?
It was looking at it and realizing that my moods and how irritable I was becoming more and more like my grandfather. I really didn't want to be that person, because my grandfather was an arsehole, a horrible, horrible man. And it was all because he didn't manage his own stress and depression properly. And I just noticed some worrying traits and tendencies in myself. And I thought, you know what? If you didn't, well, at the time I was 40, you're nearly be 41 in a couple of months, you need to sort yourself out. Because I don't want to be that person. And so that's one of the reasons I reached out. And I was using sort of the wedding I've just been to over the weekend as the goal of, I want to get myself sorted by then. Because some of the people over there I haven't seen for ages. I didn't want to be a completely different person to the person I was when I saw them last.
I think I remember you saying that actually on our first call, or very soon into the program. And in terms of asking for help, I actually think it's one of the most vulnerable things you can do, because when you ask for help, you go, I'm struggling with something. I don't think I can fix this on my own. I think it's a really vulnerable thing to do. It's brave, right? Instead of staying where you are, you've actually reached out and asked for help. So how was that for you, like that process, and how did you find it?
Well, I mean, reaching out and saying you need help, as you say, it's one of the hardest things you do. As I think I talked about this in a couple of the weekly things. Modern society is that we're straight white men, are the problem for everything. So we're told to sort of shut up and just suck it up in the corner.
Yeah.
And nobody really wants to talk to people about their issues. And when they start doing it, it's, what's the matter with you, you puff, sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
My generation, 40, and coming from the background I do, you didn't really talk about stuff. You just gone on with it. So reaching out, it is the hardest thing, but you made it very easy through the way of just reach out and the onboarding interview. When so I sat down to talk about stuff to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
It was quite open, and I think because it's a group of people that were going through the same things or have gone through the same sort of mental issues and the mental process of getting to ask for help. When you actually meet the guys and talk to them online and involved in the meetings, it's much easier to talk about the issues you've got and the problems you've had, because they've had them and they understand about what's going on as well. And they're there for the same reasons.
Yeah, 100%. I think everyone has maybe slightly different goals, but everyone's there to feel a bit better about themselves, get improved bit of fitness, maybe a bit of performance at work. Goals might be different, but everyone's pretty much there for the same reason. Yeah. So leading on from that, like how did you find it being with some other guys? Yeah, where maybe you do talk about some stuff that you wouldn't necessarily talk about, but how do you find that?
Refreshing. It was nice to be in a space where you could talk about whatever you wanted, whatever was causing you a problem that week, without any people saying, "Oh, you're just not putting enough effort in. You need to sort yourself out." People would be there. Yeah, I understand exactly where you come from. I've had a bit of a shit week. I've been down here. I haven't done or hit my targets, and I've had this happening. This is going on in work. I'm really down. I'm really depressed. It was really nice from a mental point of view. It helped me massively get back to where I personally was, and much took a weight off his shoulders, being able to actually just sit down and talk to a group of people who, one, never met them before, and from Adam, but they weren't judgmental, they were opening and accepting of everything, and they were there, as you say, to try and pull everybody along as opposed to knock you down. It was refreshing to be in a for inverted commas, I hate the use, safe space.
Yeah, I know. Like, I know what you mean, though. It sounds very, safe space. But, essentially it is, and I think there's nothing wrong with having that, and that's what I wanted to create, because as men we are sometimes taught to like suppress our emotions, and it's not good. So I think if you can, I think there's that side of things, but I also think it's a good environment to be in, because you're all stepping up together.
Yes,
you're inspiring each other, you're pushing each other on, and I think weight loss is normally quite miserable, isn't it? It's always about removing all these things and having to do all these things. Whereas I think I hopefully you agree with this. I try and make it a very positive process. Yeah, did you find it a positive process going through?
Yeah, 100%. And it was, they always say, "Oh, the first step is the hardest," but what I made, and the cliches, but
yeah,
it was simple little things you were saying change, which you all know, everybody knows in the back of their mind. Drink more water, move more, eat less.
Yeah.
But until you actually got a bit of accountability, like you have working with yourself and the lads of every week, I have moved more, I have drunk more water, I have eaten less. You don't really do it. You might half-ass do it and half-heartedly do it. Oh, I've had a glass of water this morning. That's me for the day. Yeah. So it really did help an awful lot, and it was really easy to sort of get into it quite quickly, into the swing of things. I mean, as I said to you before, my sort of cooking and eating, I'm happy to cook at home anyway. Mm-hmm. So my problem was never really the meal prep side of things. It was more the making the time to sit down and go, right, I'm making my meals for tomorrow. I'm making it for the week. And I'm not going to go to the canteen and take the chicken curry that's 1,000 calories and the easy way out because it's quick and easy because I can't be bothered to get up 20 minutes earlier in the morning to do my meals for the day or spend another 20 minutes a night doing the next days. So you made it really easily and approachable and sensible in how you laid it out. And well, you didn't bombard you in the first week. It was little steps. Just do one thing and change that, and that will make a massive difference. And then you can change other things and incrementally increase from there.
Yeah, nice. What I noticed as well is literally, I think it was about after 2 weeks, your energy levels, obviously we couldn't scale it, but if you say you was maybe there, I literally noticed after 2 weeks, your energy levels like massively increased. I think, I know I always say this, I think that's one of the things that needs to be fixed quickly because like you said, like you're then going to go to the canteen. If your energy levels are low, you are going to pick up the curry that's easy. You are going to, so that was the big shift that I saw because, you're not suddenly going to get more time, but what you can do is get more energy and then be efficient with the time you've got. So did you notice that change in you?
Oh yeah, that's the thing I noticed first. And that all came really from drinking more water, which meant I was drinking less coffee.
Yeah.
And then because of that, I was sleeping better. And then because of that, I was making more rational, sensible choices about I'll have chicken breast with just plain rice or what have you for lunch, as opposed to, whatever it is, pile it on, plate and eat it, because you can't be bothered to do it. It's just quick and easy. And those two things, reducing the amount of caffeine because of drinking more water, instantly gave me an energy boost, and it made me sleep better.
If we looked at, I always think, when you join the program, maybe some people have been, following me for a while. I think there's maybe sometimes a fear like, what if I do this and I can't do it? Because if maybe you could see the place you get to, you'd go, do you know what? I do it. Like I'm sure I can get there. But did you have any like reservations? I remember you said you may be skeptical that these things would happen as quickly.
Oh yeah. No, I mean you always are. The skeptic in me, the doubting Thomas, was like, well, is it really going to do anything? Is it really going to make massive difference? And it does. And the nice thing about your program is it's not, you have to lose this much weight by the end of the program or you've wasted your time. It's do these things, and it doesn't matter whether you lose half a pound or 40 pounds by the end of the program, because it's setting you up for the next 6 months, 12 months, 12 years to get habits in place that will genuinely change how you are, really.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So if we looked at maybe like the biggest things going forward, the biggest changes for you, what would they be?
From the program, so the biggest changes for me is drinking proper water, consciously making the choices where if I have been sat at the computer for an hour, I will get up now and I'll walk around for half an hour. And I force myself 30 minutes every hour and a half, get up, walk around, get up, walk around, get up, walk around. If I'm really disappointed with myself if I don't hit my 10,000 steps a day average target. So it's taking the positive things, the little steps that you can do every day. Because you don't always want to go to the gym, and you don't always have time to go to the gym, especially when I'm 12, 14 hours on site. But while you're on site, you can walk and walk and walk and walk. And some of the sites I work on, they're 4 or 5 miles across. So you walk around them once, there's your 10,000 miles done. So, or 10,000 steps done, I should say. So it's given me that impetus to actually actively look for ways that I can move and do exercise in my daily routine that doesn't involve me going to the gym for an hour because I haven't got time to go to the gym for an hour. And it's things like doing a little routine in the morning, every morning before you go to work, 5 minutes of your life, and it sets you up for the day because it gives you more energy before you get into work. You're more awake and everything else. And then it makes you think, I can do the Wim Hof challenge, or like my mate, like my mate said to me, shall we walk the entirety of the Welsh Coast Path this year? And I went, yes. So there's things that you get into your head, and it gives you those little bits of energy and little things. Actually, you can do what you want to do, because it's pretty simple. You just need that push behind you. And as you said, once you've got that energy, that's the biggest thing. Having the energy to stand by and go, right, I know, even though I'm going to do 14 hours a day, I'm going to be able to go straight through, because I'm not tired. Even though I haven't had as much sleep as I would like to, I'm not tired.
Yeah.
I've got the energy levels and the energy reserves there to push you through at the other end. And certainly, if I hadn't been on the program, the things I've had happening with work the last couple of weeks, where losing clients and losing the negative 6 months worth of work and trying to scrabble around to find other stuff, I wouldn't have had the mental fortitude or the energy to be able to deal with that sensibly, like I have done.
Yeah, I think that's really big, because I think that's something that maybe people don't necessarily think about. I think when you're in a good place, like physically, mentally, like emotionally, when you do have a little bit of a setback in life, you are much more well equipped to deal with it.
Yeah.
Your stress levels aren't as high. You're reacting to things in a better way that serves you.
Yeah.
If you going forwards, like in terms, obviously, the energy, what else actually, what better question would be, like, what's different now about you as a whole, how you are with the people around you compared to before?
I'm happier, certainly. I'm nowhere near as stressed as I was at all. I'm a lot more positive about things. I'm no longer just sort of falling from one job to the other. I'm actively going out and looking for jobs, and I'm more positive, thinking, actually, I can get that contract. Well, I can get that contract. Whereas before I'd have gone, I won't get that contract. I'm going to go shoe it. And then because of that, I am going the latter part of the year going to pick up work that I wouldn't have had otherwise. I'm just going to fill the gap in now. But it's the person I was beforehand was tired, no energy, not very happy, quite depressed. And where I am now, it's like I said to you before, it's like I was before COVID. In terms of my weight loss, I'm down to the same weight I was before COVID, and I've kept up chipping away a little bit here, a little bit there. And my energy levels, certainly, it's like going back almost 10 years in terms of the amount of energy I've got. I wake up in the morning, bang on 6 o'clock, and before it would be straight downstairs, coffee, 4 cups of coffee, then you get in the car and go to work because you need it to get you going. Whereas now, I get up in the morning, I'll make breakfast, got puppies at the moment, so sort them out. Then I'll sit down and maybe I'll have a coffee. And when I say make breakfast, I don't really make breakfast for myself. It's more for my partner. Make her a coffee. I might have a cup of tea, but it'll be a decaf one or Robush, and then it'll be water for the rest of the day, really. And that's a huge difference in terms of who I am from what I was before. And I don't drink as much as I used to either. I used to drink quite regularly at home. I might have a Bailey's every now and again, and like on a weekend when it was a wedding, a special event. Yeah. But I don't want it anymore. Before I go, I really need a pint. I really need a drink. Whereas now, I go, I'll just have a glass of orange juice or a glass of ice water from the fridge,
Yeah, I think, like I always say, like you said a little bit earlier, it's not about like trying to get guys to lose 40 pounds in my program. It's about setting up for long-term success. So the way you do that, you need to learn a bit about yourself. You need to do a bit of work on yourself. So do you think you are now set up for long-term success, 5 years, 10 years?
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've got habits now. I know I will keep going at, because it's subconscious now. And I notice how much, I got the Samsung Galaxy smartwatch I bought because it was health tracking. And it goes, water, I've had this water, and it tells you what you're going to do. Oh, bloody hell. Didn't realize I drank that much. And you look at what you're drinking, how many times you fill it up. They got one of those 1 liter water bottles. And you go, I've had 2 of those. Good grief. and it's all subconscious now. So I that will stay with me. I'm one of those people. Once it's a habit, it tends to be quite hard for me to shift, which is quite glad I've never started smoking. Otherwise, I would have been stuffed.
Nice. Because look, there, you know, we all know there's so many quick fixes out there, especially this time of year. There's so many fads. I think it is really important to know that you've got something that will stick.
Yeah, I mean, those quick fixes you talk about, they're not fixes. They're 3 weeks. Give us a load of money. We'll give you a supposed plan or workout plan, and you could lose this much money or this this much money.
You lose a bit of money, all right?
Yeah, this much weight, and
Yeah.
you go, yeah, but it won't, because I've got friends of mine who've tried it before, and within 3 months, it's all back on anyway. So you go, well, you need to make changes that are actually going to stick. And that's the nice thing about your program, is because it's incremental, and over those 12 weeks, it's a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there, and at the end of it, you go, Christ, I've gone a long way. I've done an awful lot, and you realise, as I said, it's habit. Then by the end of those 12 weeks, and the third biggest thing for creating those habits is the accountability with you and the guys on the call. And you feel a bit silly when you haven't done the things. You sit there, people are saying, "Oh, I've managed to do this." You go, yeah.
You got Mike who's ran a flipping marathon that weekend or something. All right. So going forwards, I've lost my train of thought. Then I know obviously we talked about that. You think this is ingrained now. It's long term. Yeah, what I was going to say, going forwards, like, how's your mindset different? Like you say, you're going to walk the Wales coast. Like, how do you feel about those challenges and just take, like, I guess grabbing life by the balls a bit more, right?
Yeah. It's just a completely. It's difficult to describe, put into words, because the person I was before I started the program, I'd have been, "Don't be fucking stupid. You want to walk the coast path? What are you on about?" Yeah. And now I'm like, actually, that's a really good idea. Something that'd be really quite nice to do. Yeah. And beautiful to do it. I mean, if it takes us 2 years to do it, it takes us 2 years to do it. But we're happy. Yeah, we're going to try and do as much as we can before his wedding next year, because he wants to lose weight as well. So he's been going to the gym and stuff. And I was like, well, why don't we actually just walk places? Because I hate the gym, you hate the gym, And if we park, if you pick me up here and I leave my car there, we'll drive the other end, walk 20 miles of it, drive back, take each other car, and then next weekend we'll do the same sort of thing. And I would never even bother doing that. As I said, I'd have been like, "What the hell do you want to do that for?" Whereas now I'm like, actually, yeah, let's go and do it. Why not? And that's the positivity and the energy. The energy is the biggest thing. To think to yourself, yeah, because I can do it. I can do it. I can do anything I bloody put my mind to now.
Yeah, no, it's that'd be great. By the way, I think that'd be like really, really cool. I've not seen enough of Wales, even though my best mate lives there, but we just go and see him. You don't really get to see that much. So obviously, I know we probably connected a little while. You saw what Troy's transformation, and I'm sure there's some people that have been connected with me for a while on LinkedIn, on Facebook, that have probably wanted to reach out. They've probably even sent the message, but they've deleted it. They're on the fence. What would you say to anyone that has been thinking about reaching out?
Man up and do it. Just do it.
You've got
to imagine, as I said in my little sort of bio thing, it's one day, isn't it? You're going to change your life one day, or is this day one of changing your life? And just do it, because it's made a huge difference to my life.
Nice. Last question. And you might not be able to say that the one thing, or it might be a few things, but what's your biggest takeaway or biggest thing that you've taken from the program? By the way, it might be a couple of things. It might not be one thing.
Well, the biggest takeaway, and it's something you get told all the time, is that your mental state massively impacts your health and your mental well-being. And until you actually realize how bad you are mentally, and go on something like your course, where it actually completely changes you relatively quickly by making just little benefits, especially in energy. The mental change and the mental health, the mental fortitude is more important than anything. I'd rather have a mind that's healthy and sensible and depressed and be a stable 15 stone, as opposed to be up and down mentally and losing weight and be down like a ripped Adonis. And that's the biggest thing to take away, is that if you don't look after your mind, you're not going to look after your body.
Yeah, awesome. I reckon we'll wrap up there. Thank you very much, Ed, for being on. Obviously, I've been involved with your transformation, so for me, it's been great to see. Because at the end of the day, and I say this to everyone that comes in, you've got to do the work.
Yeah,
like, I've got a program. I'll show you the path. I'll be supportive as I can. I'll help you as much as I can. But you've got to do the work, and you stepped up, and right now you're reaping the rewards of all the things that you've said. So, hats off to you for doing the work. Like it's like the saying, you can lead a horse. Not saying you're a horse, by the way. But you can lead a horse to water. Can't make him drink it. Like you've done the work, and you've been a great member of the group as well. The team, it's a team. The guys in the group.
Yeah, it is. It is 100% a team, and it's been great to be part of it. And I'm hopefully can be able to continue with it once I get a few things sorted. But it's a support network you don't realize you need until you've got it, and then you realize, actually, this is exactly what I've needed.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that as well, because I think it's what men need a lot of as well, like support and networks and being able to talk and like a safe space. I don't necessarily think we have it as much as we should do.
No, and since I've been part of the group, I've been talking to my friends more openly about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my very close friends, and it's surprising how many of them actually go, "Oh yeah, I'm struggling with this. I could really do with an outlet," and it's sort of got me to make a little group of my mates together where we can just talk shit about anything we've got going on. Like we're all from different parts of the world as well, so
that's awesome. By the way,
it enables us to keep in touch, and also we've known each other 20 odd years, some of us maybe even longer, and we're able to turn around now and go, well, look, you're being a bit gay, but I'm so there's a little bit of ribbing, but there's a lot of support there as well. And if it hadn't been for being part of your group and seeing the benefits that I was getting from it, I wouldn't have even thought about even trying to do something like that with my friends.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. And then you knock-on effect is you actually start to get to know your friends close, even though they've been friends for 20 years, because you actually have real conversations. All right. So, like I said, Ed, thank you very much for jumping on. It's been great seeing your transformation.
Thank you. It's been great for all the help as well.
Yeah, no, it's been awesome, mate. Hopefully you get back in soon. We missed you, so we want you back in. And guys, if you are listening, if you do have any questions, any feedback for me or Ed, send a question.
Brilliant.
All right. Cheers, Ed. Speak soon.
All the best, guys.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Bye.